I don't think it's an exaggeration to suggest that this man saved our season last episode. Otter was absolutely phenomenal. And yes, he might not be training well, but I'll tell you what, if he continues to turn up like he did yesterday, he can train as badly as he wants. Goes without saying, if you didn't see yesterday's post-season episode, you should go watch it before we get into this one where, well, we're back. It's the National Regional League Championship stage. Last year we made it this far, and when we made it this far, we heartbreakingly finished third. Now, last episode, we got revenge on Veros Kronos, and today, we have a chance to get one over on our rivals in Nanatsu, as well as Svons, who, well, let's be honest, they humiliated me last episode. The other team, not from our own division, that's made it to the Final Four is Tokachi Sky Earth. We'll just call them Sky Earth. I assume that's like a company, Sky Earth. Either that or they just represent the sky and the earth, which is frankly mental. They won their league. You can see their media prediction was first. Their key man is Yuki Kaneko, and the goalkeeper here is quite good. In fact, he's very, very good, isn't he? We started off with over 130 teams. We're down to the Final Four. Will we get promoted in this season number 2? Let's find out right after the intro. Now, just to get this out of the way immediately, we did have the Ichihara post-season tournament going on between the two playoff rounds. I threw the game. I played a B team against Nanatsu. We lost 4-1 in that game, and whilst it might give Nanatsu a psychological edge, given the fact that we're due to play them later on today, that game was so recent that I just wanted players at full fitness. And the good news is, when I now look at the team, with the exception of players that have been out due to injuries, we are at full fitness. Meanwhile, obviously, we got knocked out in the quarterfinals. The likes of Vons and Nanatsu played against one another 3 days ago, and you can see here, Vons do have the final to play, albeit that is happening after this next playoff stage. In an ideal world, therefore, I would take on one of those two teams now, Nanatsu and Vons, who have played very, very recently. That's not the case, sadly. To kick things off today, we have to take on Sky Earth. Now, just before we get into this first game today, a little bit of a heads up, there will not be a video tomorrow. I've got some stuff going on at the end of the week. This just meant scheduling videos and stuff is problematic. Rather than rush out a transfer special where I can't really think on the transfers, the video is probably not as good as it would otherwise be, I'd rather hold off. So we will be kicking off transfer specials on Monday. Just get it in your diary. Now, like I mentioned, we crashed out at this stage last year. The winner gets automatically promoted. Second place in the group gets into a playoff game. That'll be against a team in the JFL that finished second bottom. That would be TMO. TMO last year, they finished 8th. Their media prediction was 10th, and yet they finished 15th in the JFL. So they've had a pretty bad year. Shuto Kawai is their key man. Decent little player, to be fair, and is their club captain. I feel like the gap between us and teams in the JFL actually isn't that big, but nevertheless, I'd like to go up automatically, ideally. So 2 players who maybe would have featured in the team unavailable for today's first game. Hasegawa is still coming back from injury. You can see here, not ready for a fitness test, and the other man not available, wasn't available all of last episode. Kobayashi probably would have been our first choice left back. He is out the team still. The good news is, whilst Aoki is still injured, he has passed a fitness test. I've been told he can play 60 minutes. I'm not going to risk him in the first game. Tsushima, to be fair, really didn't do that badly last episode. And on top of that, our next game is in 2 days' time. I know the previous stage we play all the games in 3 days. In this tournament here, there's kind of 2-day gap. So there's a bit more time for rest. One other thing to mention as well, in the final third, I am choosing to play Akai up top as a starter in this game. I'm dropping Otsuka, who had a really disappointing end to the year. I feel like he just needs a little bit of time on the bench to think about what he's done. Akai, on the other hand, he's just a little bit of a wild card, isn't he? So we are going to be rocking our 4-4-2, besides the change that I just mentioned at left back, and with Akai coming in, we are pretty much at full strength, which is great to be able to see. Sky Earth, by comparison, are going to be playing a 4-2-3-1. Noticing it looks like they've got a few Korean players in their ranks, which is interesting. And in fact, when we start by star rating here, Suzuki is one of their best players. He is actually absolutely immense, isn't he, as a centre-back? I know he's got 4 jumping reach. Maybe that's where Akai can shine. And Lee here, their striker, 24 years old. He looks pretty good too, doesn't he? He's very good. Okay, we need to be at our best from the off today. Last episode, we were slow to get going. We cannot afford that again today. I'm going to hope that with Otter starting this first game and a little bit fitter, this game is going to go as planned. Watanabe, our big transfer this year, whips in. Otter was on the end end of it. I thought for a second the flag was going to be raised and he was offside. He was not. That would have counted. 6 minutes into this game, the rain is pouring down. It's not going to be a slow start to the game today, I'm afraid to say. I'm afraid to say. For the neutral, it's great. For me as a manager trying to retain my sanity, slightly less ideal. Yamashita out on the right-hand side is going to whip it in. It's in the box. It's headed goalwards. It's cleared away just about by Tamiya. Kim gets it away too. But seeing them hit the woodwork inside the first 7 minutes, did not have that on my wish list going into this game. You know what? I really should just set up an Amazon wish list. It would just be yogurts, to be fair. But if people want to buy me yogurts, maybe I should set that up. Or maybe we should just get Otter setting up goals. It's 1-0 here. I'm not going to talk about a wish list. It makes me sound like an OnlyFans model. They hit the woodwork at one end, and I was expecting the highlight to fizzle out. It did not fizzle out. Ida played through by Akai, laid across to Otter. He missed his first chance. He wasn't going to miss a second. A very on-brand counter-attack has opened up the goal scoring here. The aim for today, win all our games. That is all that we can really do. If you do that, you're guaranteed to be promoted. So it's what we need to do. Sauer has picked up the ball here. He got a few goals, didn't he, towards the tail end of the year. He's laid it to Nakajima, who dances past his man. It's half cleared away, but only as far as Tsushima. Kept alive. Watanabe's there. Jun gets the assist. It is 2-0. 2 goals in 2 minutes. This is better than yesterday. Nakajima finding that little bit of space. His initial ball was blocked, but Tsushima kept the ball alive. Tsushima's really stepped up, hasn't he, in the postseason? That pass, by the way, across the box. Beautiful. That is what we need to see. Corner now. Tsushima over. Imagine if we get a third. Imagine... We can't imagine it. That has been headed over. A little bit concerned by Sauer on a booking. If we were to get a third goal early on, I might even just take him off to play it safe. That might be mad to say, but I just feel like it'd be what needs to be done. Tamiya has scored. It's his 3rd goal of the year. He got 2 on his debut, you might remember. Hadn't scored since. He's popped up there. I mentioned the fact that Sky Earth star centre-back only has 4 jumping reach. I think they do have a little bit of a lack of height across their team. That is an aspect of our game we really shine in. We've seen it there. 3 goals up inside 16 minutes. I mean, you know what? Goal difference could be important. There's a world in which, 2 teams win 2 games and then draw against one another, and suddenly goal difference would decide who finishes top and who finishes second. So all the goals that we can get might be needed. It's 4. We've not even played 20 minutes. Where has this come from? I spent £35,000, you might remember, on Watanabe. That was a transfer gamble and a half that we made at the start of the year. He's popped up with his 2nd goal of the game, and if he turns up clutch to end the year, it will be considered £35,000 well spent. Sauer, I am actually just going to take off here. We might as well just bring in Messiah, who in himself is actually quite a competent ball-winning midfielder, I feel like. I realise I've made these changes. There was already a highlight beginning. Could we get 5? Football Manager, I wouldn't mind 5. Akai, Watanabe, he's already got 2. He lays it to Otter. He's offside. It's not going to count. Goal 25 will have to wait. Imagine being able to sub off your captain after 25 minutes. I mean, if we go on now to lose this game, suddenly Sauer looks like the most important player in our entire team. But we've looked pretty good in this game so far. And to be honest, that feels like a bit like I'm underselling it. We've been absolutely phenomenal. We've been just dominant in this game so far. I mean, a 5th goal and, well, it's just game over. I feel like it's game over already. But Otter, I don't think he's got the memo. He's going to keep the play alive here. Watanabe could pull it across, does pull it across. Ida shoots. It's 5. It's 5. He's done. Sky Earth, pack up your bags. You're not going up. Otter works so hard here to keep the play alive. Kept it in play, laid it to Watanabe. He weighed up his options, picked out Ida, and, well, the keeper got a hand. It was not enough. I mean, at this point, I almost just feel like telling the players just to slow the tempo down, time waste a little bit more. We can just chill now. The game's done. They're not going to score 5 goals from here. And whilst it is radically changing our game plan, I kind of just want to save legs. We've got 2 more games to play in the next 5 days. So let's think about game management. It's 6. Tamiya's scored another. I kind of feel bad. We have an XG of 2, we've scored 6. Yeah, it's been that kind of game. But if there's a time to put up this kind of game, this is kind of the game to do it in. It is 6-0 at half-time. I feel like at this point, I can just make changes for the sake of it. I'm going to bring in Fukumoto and Otsuka just to save the legs of our attackers. Elsewhere, you know what? Watanabe. I kind of want to give Watanabe a rest, but actually maybe Nakajima needs it a little bit more. Matsumoto, by the way, coming back from a super long-term injury. Been told he could play 60 minutes here, so we'll sub him on to give him some game time. I have got one more sub. I think I'll just save it for now. Tsushima to whip in the corner. I mean, Tamiya's on for the hat-trick, isn't he? Kim scored. That is 3 corners scored in one game. I feel bad. I mentioned their striker being good. He's currently on a 5.9 rating. It's not been a good day, has it, for Sky Earth? It could get worse. Tsushima's whipping in. Watanabe's there. He's scored. It's 8. Is it? Sorry, Sky Earth. Okay, 2 minutes of added time at the end of this game. It's over. It's done. Put them in a body bag. I think after that, it finishes 8-0. Watanabe with a hat-trick. Unbelievable. Now, the dream scenario here probably is that the other two teams draw. I believe they are playing after us here, so we'll keep a keen eye on their game. Yeah, we have a positive 8 goal difference, which could be really, really important. And elsewhere, we got the dream result. Vons and Nankatsu have drawn 4-4. I mean, I'll tell you what, 2 crazy games to open up this regional qualifying stage. As good as the position we're in right now is, obviously, it's far from done. If they are going to be the whipping boys, Sky Earth, we need to get results in the next 2 games. Nankatsu is up next. They are our fierce rivals. I want to beat them. I need to beat them. Will we beat them? Let's go find out. There was a world where if Vons drew against Sky Earth, a win here would guarantee us promotion. That world hasn't happened. They have won 2-0. It puts them on 4 points. Crucially for us, a win here can move us 2 points clear. We play Vons in the final game. If we lose here, Nankatsu will also go on to 4 points, and then I would need Sky Earth to do us a favour. So, yeah, there's still a lot to be done. All we can really do is just win all our games, but knowing that Vons is that last game, based on, well, last episode, does fill me with a little bit of dread. Probably not going to surprise you here, but going into this game, I am not changing anything. Ida got a little bit of a fitness test concern, but he has passed his test. We have rested up the players, so condition is good across the board. And, well, frankly, I just don't feel like there's a need to change things for the sake of it. We were so good last episode. And when I say last episode, I mean last match. I could just hide my mistake in the edit, but I feel like it's important to show I am human. Sometimes I do misspeak. It's hard to believe. Okay, Nankatsu are going to be playing their 4-2-3-1. By the way, their centre attacking mid is a Myanmar international. He is a very, very good key player for them. I feel like I want to show you Nankatsu's team real quick, just so you can get an idea of how much money they have. I will say, crucially, they are like £700,000 in the red, which compared to our bank balance, suddenly I feel better about my financial situation here at Tokyo 23. But if we just look at their team here, they've got players on £3,500. Moriyama here is their star centre-back. He is so, so good. The fact that this guy can be paid £3,500 makes me sick. They've got Maeda here, who's on £2,200. Mori, who is their right-back, he's on £2,200 as well. The money that they offer players is frankly absolutely absurd. I think Moriyama is actually a very recent addition. The player who I mentioned earlier, who's a Myanmar international, is this guy. I mean, even he's absolutely immense. He's like their 15th highest earner, still makes more than £1,000. All of that to say that a result here would undoubtedly be an upset. Nankatsu are the favourites for promotion, just based on the quality of this team, the money that they have. We're going to hope to, well, shake things up. And corners were important last game. Corners could be important again here. Tamir has scored his 3rd goal of the episode, but it's been disallowed. I think there was a player stood in front of the goalkeeper offside, so I'm not going to argue with it. Positive, we actually created something. Not so positive. Obviously, the goal didn't count. But fundamentally here, we've got them on the back foot early on, it feels like. We had half a chance there with a shot that was blocked by Otter. There is still a corner, maybe. Watanabe, Nakajima, inside Akai. This is a routine, and I feel like Akai should have hit the target there. Chishima at left back. He nearly got another assist until the goal was ruled out. He has been absolutely sensational at left back in the first game. It looks like it's going to continue here. And while we are on the attack, Ida storming forward. Nakajima inside to Sawa. Captain Fantastic looks right. He picks out Mitsuhashi as well. Down the line to Watanabe. Lovely build-up play. Otter goes down. It's a penalty. We've missed so many crucial penalties this year. Otter, you missed your last penalty, but I'm keeping faith in you. You are the star boy of this team. Please don't let me down. He's not let me down. It's 1-0 after 11 minutes played. That's going to settle the nerves slightly. Am I going crazy? I feel like there's been so many penalties during the playoff stages, both last year and this year. Maybe it's tired legs at the end of a long season. Maybe it's just a case of that we're at the lower levels of Japanese football and players just can't defend. Either way, thankfully for us, we have taken that one there. Now, can we keep the momentum going? Kim, what a lovely play by the centre-back. It's floated. Akai's there. His header hits the crossbar. It's half cleared away. Akai is causing them all kinds of problems. Watanabe, Well, he was lurking free at the back post. Sadly, the cross was under-hit. Nanatsu have not done a lot in the opening of this game. They are probably looking to change that here as the ball's thrown to Maeda. Suzuki back to goal, turns. His shot is blocked. Tamiya, massive stop. Halfway through this first half, a goal to the good. I mean, it's going pretty much as well as we could have hoped. We've looked solid in this game thus far. A draw for us here wouldn't actually be disastrous. It would put us even on points with Vons, but because of our goal difference, a draw would still be enough in the next game. Nevertheless, that's not the thinking I want to have here. The thinking I want to have is we're going to win, and we're going to win comfortably. Watanabe, let's make it comfortable. Man of the match last game, the number 42, gives it to Akai, and I'll tell you what, Sharad Akai, just a god. Watanabe, what a run by him here. All the way to the byline. The number 42 whips it in, and Akai, I mean, he's just massive, isn't he? He jumps higher than everyone else. He headers it goalwards. That just lifts the pressure slightly. Okay, they've got a corner on the near side, Nanatsu. If we concede now, it'd be such a sucker punch right before the break. Maeda, edge the box, could pull the trigger, does pull the trigger, hits the woodwork, and it's still not dealt with yet. Otomoto shoots, and on this occasion, Matsuzawa in goal is called into action, does what is needed, and that is going to see us through to a break where I think the team talk is simple. I am happy, lads. Keep it going. Really, really good performance by our midfield. Our defence hasn't got good ratings. Fundamentally, we've not conceded yet. And I know that as Nanatsu now get more desperate, knowing they really need to get a win here to stand a chance at promotion, there's going to be gaps in behind. Of course, counter-attacking is the name of the game here at Tokyo 23. We're set up to do that. I'm going to take off Nakajima here just to bring in some fresh legs. Sawa's not had the best game either. Messiah, the former Nanatsu man, is going to come in and play at centre mid for us. 3 changes made, 20 minutes left. Let's just see out this game now. Saying all of that, like I said earlier, Nanatsu, they've got to commit at some point. They are going to go on the front foot. You have to imagine we're going to be tested defensively, although Aoki reads that superbly. Akai now plays it forward. Matsumoto, fresh off the bench, has Otter to his left, should pick him out, does pick him out. Otter had the time and the space to get closer to goal and finish it. He's pulled the trigger first time and blasted it over. This is one of those Football Manager games now where I'm just staring in the top corner. They've got a corner here with 12 minutes left. They've made a load of subs as well. Nankatsu's depth is absolutely phenomenal, and Kisumoto scores and makes it 2-1. I hate everything. I'm so nervous. It's a free kick. It's a cheap chance. He's whipped it in. Could Cesaro have done well? I mean, to be fair, it was a very good effort, wasn't it? I know he didn't go into the top corner, but he bent it round that wall well. I'm going to shout demand more from the players here. We need something to try and see out this game. 3 minutes left. We've had a limited number of shots on target, but we've created a lot given our lack of possession, and crucially, time is trickling away. A goal here would be the dagger. Aoki steps up to provide. 2 minutes left. A counter-attack here would make me sick. We don't need to worry about it. He was ruled out for a goal earlier. Tamiya does get on the score sheet now. It's another corner. It was a very, very conscious decision to bring in players like, well, in this case, Tamiya, but also Akai. Players who are big, players that can win headers, because we're in Japan, players don't have as good jumping reach. There's maybe a lack of physicality down in the lower levels of the football, and we have looked to exploit that here. 3-1, 2 wins on the bounce, and all of a sudden, well, we are eyeing up promotion. I believe with that result there, yeah, we are guaranteed a top 2 finish. So even if we lose to Vons, we'd still get to do the playoffs against a JFL team. What it does mean is a team from the Kanto Soccer League Division 1 will be playing in the JFL next year. So we secure a playoff spot if need be, but we do not want that. We just have to avoid defeat in this final game, and we will win the championship. We played Vons only a few weeks ago, and on that occasion, we couldn't get the result that we needed. We lost that game 3-2, you might remember. Here is how it played out, just to refresh your memory. I do feel like we were a tad unlucky, but nevertheless, we have to play better than we did here. The next game is in 2 days. You know the deal by now. I'm going to rest up the players. We're going to run that transition screen, stick in some YouTube ads, and I'll be back in just a mo with potentially our final game of the season. Historically, we have such a great record against Vons, and yet that last defeat against them just kind of lingers over my head. There's a little bit of self-doubt. Of course, we lost on that occasion 3-2. We've met them on 4 other occasions, all in the Kanto Division 1. None of those had quite the high stakes as the last game. Certainly not the high stakes as this one here. We are down to, well, the end of the year. If we beat Vons by 2 goals, there will be some kind of weird tie-break between them and Nankatsu, where I think potentially, depending on goals scored, Nankatsu could even maybe pip them to second. That would be kind of funny. Then again, do I want Nankatsu to come up with me? I mean, the reality is, rather than worry about Nankatsu and everything else, we just have to worry about ourselves. Crucially for this game, though, I am not going to change anything again. I feel like we've been pretty fortunate with injuries. Akai is looking a little worse for wear in this game, but I really needed us to see out that game previously, so there wasn't the same opportunity like against Sky Earth to rotate things. A draw here is enough, a win here is enough, and well, look, I'm sorry that we're playing Vons for a 3rd time in 3 episodes. It's just the way Football Manager has dealt the hand, and well, none of them are going to be as high stakes as this one here. Of course, Vons at the start of the year offered me a job interview. They gave me the chance to go in and be their manager. I turned down that interview to stay here. I trusted in my project. We're going to go into this game knowing a win, and we're up. A loss, and, well, we have a playoff game to do Monday. I've not really thought about how the Monday playoff game is going to work if indeed it goes to the playoffs. You know, earlier when I mentioned no episode tomorrow, yeah, there probably still won't be an episode tomorrow, but I've not thought about things. Look, we're going to win. It's going to be fine. Positive mental attitude. I'm calm. Vons, by the way, are playing their typical 3 at the back super defensive system that has on occasion caused us issues. Then again, you know what? We've been able to penetrate it as well. So let's not doubt ourselves here. Otter is back and ready to start this game. Akai's back in the team. We're definitely stronger than we were from a fitness point of view in the previous game in the postseason. We would love an ideal start. Akai was unmarked. Sadly, the header got away, but it doesn't matter. It's going to fall to Otter. He's done it again, and it's goal number 27. He can't keep getting away with it. Yuichi Otter is just a god, isn't he? Watanabe whipped the ball in here. I thought for a moment Akai was going to win the header. It's a rare occasion where he doesn't win the header. But, well, I'll tell you what. Jun was there, out on the left-hand side. Nakajima driving it in, and Otter tucks it away. That eases the nerves slightly. Yoshimura with a throw in. There are options around him. Uno is one of them. I feel like I have to get another Uno pun in if possible, although maybe I shouldn't. He nearly got an assist there. Good save, by the way, by Matsuzawa. Taniguchi over the corner. I feel like at this point I'm becoming quite familiar with Vons' team. If you're wondering, by the way, about the American fullback for them, he's actually got injured. I think it's something Glover. Yeah, you know, the right back, he was quite good. He got a goal when we played them previously. He's not here today, so I feel like that is a little bit of an edge that we have. But nevertheless, they are still a strong team. On paper, I'd say they're probably not as good as Nankatsu, but they drew against Nankatsu previously, so clearly they've got a little bit about them. Nakajima to Ida. Watanabe, unmarked, inside, should have scored, didn't score, keeper stops it. Still a chance maybe from the corner, however. Watanabe probably going to go short here. Nakajima is lurking away. He whips it in towards the back stick. Tamiya is there. He's hit the crossbar. Tamiya has just been a battering ram, hasn't he, so far this episode? We're already beyond halfway through this first half. There's been a handful of chances, really. Vons have had their fair share of shots on target. We're creating a decent amount as well, despite our lack of possession. Going to try and encourage the players here as well. Immediately, we have a corner. Watanabe. I'm looking for Tamiya and Akai at the back post. Where are they? There they are. Tamiya's got another. Tamiya's got another. What a hero. This is not what I brought him in to do, but he's doing this quite well. Another really good quality ball by Watanabe. He got a hat-trick of assists in the first game today, was decent in the previous game, and he is turning on the style again here. Tamiya, I mean, how tall is Tamiya? 189 centimetres, 14 jumping reach, 12 heading. It might be the best £220 I've ever spent. He might have one crossing and one dribbling and one in a load of other technicals. He doesn't need those, does Tamiya. He just needs to know how to jump. He's done that so far today. I'd love to take a 2-0 lead in at the break as Tamiya wins another header. Sadly, this one not fully away. If Vons get one back, though, it would be 2-1, and the nerves, maybe they creep in just a little bit. As quiet as Vons have been from highlight chances, they have actually had a fair few shots. Of course, there's going to be pressure on them now to attack, and that maybe opens up the chance of the counter, particularly behind their wing-backs. The ball is wide with Watanabe. He floats it. Akai is there. Akai scores. Watanabe's done it again. It's 3-0. I don't think anyone can say we do not deserve to get promoted this year. Last year we came up short in heartbreaking fashion, and whilst there's a little bit of football left to be played here, we brought in a few new players, Akai, Watanabe. I knew a game plan I wanted to, use them for. I'll tell you what, we have executed that game plan. It's 3-0 at the break, and it's impossible not to just tell the players they're doing brilliantly. What a great team performance. Just as a reminder, a draw would be enough here, but we are on the verge of making it 3 wins in 3 in the most difficult non-league games of Japanese football. We've already played another 15 minutes of this half. I'm going to make some changes just to really bring in some fresh legs. Masaya's going to come in, the former Nankatsu man. Tsuyuki as well, the 17-year-old I'm going to bring in. He's been improving a fair amount lately. Has also put in some decent performances. Hopefully he can continue to do that here. In terms of the rest of the team, I don't really feel like there's much of a need to overcomplicate things, although that's annoying. Watanabe is out. I'm going to bring in Matsumoto for him to play on the right-hand side of midfield. Part of me wants to say, I hope that's not a serious injury, and obviously I do think that, but crucially, it probably isn't going to be too problematic. He should be back fit for the start of next season. I'd like to think at least. I think I am going to take off Chishimura here and bring in Aoki. We'll hold on to our last sub for now, but with 25 minutes left, there's a mountain to climb for Vons. They've not even left base camp. Nakajima over a corner. 4 goals? 4? Go on then. 4, why not? I'm getting greedy, aren't I? Tsuyuki keeps it alive here, the youngster. There's options inside. Mitsuhashi is that option. The right back lays it wide to Otter. I know Otter's got a goal. I still feel like he's been quiet in this game. I feel like that's an indictment of just how good his quality is and has been to end the year. Mitsuhashi to Kim. Mitsuhashi back with the ball. Floats it to Nakajima. He heads it. Akai's there. Heads it. That was really close to going in. That goalkeeper just didn't move, so I thought it was going over. It dropped just the wrong side of the post. You might have thought at 3-0 we'd be chilling out, but it's kind of got a bit of Sky Earth energy about it this game. Our players haven't got the memo. I am wondering, with us 3-0 up, does this mean that Vons would like drop down from second on goal difference? It might. It might. I think if this finishes 3-1 as well, Vons and Nankatsu, their difference between them would be settled on their disciplinary record, which would kind of be mad to see. Obviously, from our point of view, I want as many goals as we can get, even if it means Nankatsu end up being promoted with us. It's 4-0. Otter gets the assist. Akai adds another. That's game over. I mean, it was game over already, but more game over. This feels very different, doesn't it, to last year and last episode. There is no heartbreak to end the year. We've been absolutely sensational. Vons, maybe with one last chance here. We've played over the added time now. Although, to be fair, it is a minimum of 3 minutes. They could add on 30 minutes if they wanted to. Maybe Vons are just going to be wishing for the final whistle because we're on the attack again here. Matsumoto on off the bench, whips it to Otter. He scores another. It's 5. We deserve to go up. No one can question it. And if I'm not mistaken, and I could be, we'll have to check, Vons have now finished third because of this result here. It finishes 5-0. The early goal settled the nerves. First half was a bit nervy. As they went on the attack, we found more and more opportunities. And finally, it's not taken as long as it could have done, but we are going to take our first step on this adventure of Japanese football. We are now into the 4th division, the JFL, still outside the J-Leagues, crucially. It's still going to be tough. I think in our next division, there's only 2 promotion spots as well and no playoff, which is going to make things tricky, but I'm going to tell the players here, I'm very, very pleased. It is a result that sees us top the table. Nankatsu leapfrog them. Nankatsu will have a shot at promotion. I kind of secretly hope they won't get promoted. Watanabe, by the way, out for 6 weeks. That's absolutely fine. Confirmation that we are going to be promoted to the JFL. If we just look at the JFL here, you can see that there is the relegation playoff going on. There is also a playoff going on. So the way that the next division works is top team gets promoted, then the second place team play the second bottom team in J3. So make no mistake, it's still going to be pretty difficult to climb up the Japanese Football League, at least into J3. Yeah, we could be stuck in the next division for a few years. The board are delighted. I'm delighted. That is what we came here for. That is what we've achieved. And, well, 2 times we've won the title. And at the second time of asking, we navigated that non-league gauntlet. And to be fair, when you look at the results, it looks fairly comfortable. It wasn't as comfortable as it looks right there. As for what happens with Nankatsu and can they win their final game of the year in the playoffs in a week's time, you're going to have to come back during next episode to find out. Like I said, we'll be kicking off Monday with a transfer special. Apologies, there's not a video tomorrow, but it's just a kind of scheduling thing with something I've got going on this weekend. Hopefully you guys understand. Besides all of that, though, thank you for watching. Don't think that the series is suddenly going to become easier. Obviously, it's not going to be quite as crazy, but there's still a fair amount for us to get done. If you have enjoyed today's video, go down below, leave a like. I'll see you guys next time for a transfer special. Have a lovely weekend. I will see you guys on Monday for more. I'm out.